Meet Lily Tino, the most hated TikToker who streams herself bullying waitstaff, snaps bathroom selfies with strangers in the frame, and melts down on every TikTok because a waiter dared to say, "Sir." She baits people for misgender slip-ups, then weaponizes those clips for clout, turning real workers into props for her outrage circus. From publicly rating Disney women's restrooms to declaring Kurt Cobain probably trans, Lily's shock tactics finally backfired, and the internet couldn't be happier. This is the satisfying downfall of TikTok's most hated creator, Lily Tino. Before she was Lily Tino on TikTok, she was known as Nick Contino, a shy kid escaping into video games to cope with a life that didn't feel right. Born in the early 1990s, Nick grew up loving games like Pokemon and World of Warcraft. In those virtual worlds, Nick often played as female characters, notably a pigtailed girl avatar named Lily, long before coming out as trans. "I spent hours in Warcraft, slipping out of the real world in which I lived as a cisgender boy named Nick," she later recalled. The fantasy of living as a girl provided solace from the pain and denial that marked Nick's youth. This dual life planted the seeds for a future transformation. Fast forward to adulthood, Nick built a career in the video game industry. By 2021, she was a business development lead at a gaming startup and even wrote articles about games. But inside, Nick was struggling with gender dysphoria. In her late 20s, she finally found the courage to begin her gender transition, adopting the name Lily Contino, often stylized as Lily Tino online. As she later explained, her life transition began with a career transition, leaving the corporate gaming world to live authentically as a woman. In mid-2022, Lily publicly came out as transgender, and her personal journey was about to go very public. In November 2022, Lily Tino posted her first TikTok video, beginning to document her transition from male to female. At 32 years old, she openly shared her facial feminization surgeries, hormone updates, and everyday challenges. The response was overwhelmingly positive at first. Viewers flooded her early videos with support. These heartfelt comments show how Lily's transparency resonated with people looking for an uplifting transition story. One of Lily's first viral posts was a montage of her physical changes over time, a common TikTok trend. It struck a chord and garnered hundreds of thousands of views. Encouraged by the feedback, Lily leaned into being a full-time content creator, even calling herself a professional transgender person in her bio. With a warm smile and colorful outfits, she portrayed a hopeful narrative of living authentically. In these early days, Lily's public persona was largely sympathetic. Little did her new fans know the tone of her content was about to take a sharp turn. Lily's TikTok lives also became a staple. She would stream her daily outings, especially her meals at restaurants around San Francisco, inviting viewers to share a meal with her. "When I'm sitting there and just eating, it's like you're sharing a meal with me," explaining that seeing a trans person in a mundane setting could foster understanding. It was a noble idea, using food and candid conversation to bridge gaps. By early 2023, Lily had a modest but growing following, and her streams were picking up momentum. Empowered by her viral fame, Lily didn't simply continue her restaurant live streams, she escalated them. 5 days a week, she planted her phone on a mini tripod, turned on TikTok Live, and roamed San Francisco cafes in search of the next outrage clip. What began as lighthearted Eat With Me content morphed into a spectacle where conflict was the entree. By July 2023, she was testing how far shock value could push engagement. Cue the inappropriate video that happened in Disney.
"I'm dating someone who turned their cake pops into a donut."
In which a scene with a literal cake pop of a potential gender-affirming surgery. Although at this point, these videos have happened more than once.
Disney's gonna ban me for this one. My corn dog is still intact. I'm not happy about that, but sadly it takes a long time to turn a corn dog into a inverted corn dog. When I got my cake pops removed, I specifically asked my surgeon to leave the bag intact. That's because down the line, if I wanted to use my cake pop stick and turn it into a donut, the bag can come in handy. Get banned from Disney. I swear we're about to get banned from Disney. Last summer, I got my cake pops removed, and the plan up until recently was to get my marshmallow wand reconfigured into a marshmallow tunnel. Unfortunately, a few weeks ago, I noticed some hair regrowth.
Disneyland is meant to be a safe, family-friendly space. But Lily Tino's own livestream antics are turning it into the opposite. Given her graphic, disgusting TikTok videos, many parents now feel the park isn't safe for their kids. For the sake of families, it may be time for Disney to show her the exit.
You Need to Chill by Juno Dawson.
The way you try to target young children is a little concerning. You tried to dress up as Miss Rachel twice. You talked about your cake pop at Disneyland, and that's a children's place.
Viewers who'd once praised her vulnerability now complained that she was performing trauma for clicks. The running theme soon became misgender baiting. A server would drop a casual "sir."
Sorry, is everything okay?
I use she, her pronouns. I'm not sir.
Listen, bro, how are we supposed to know that? You look like a man.
Lily's face would light up as if she'd struck gold, and the next 3 minutes would be a tirade on camera about pronouns, oppression, and educating the masses. If no one slipped, she occasionally misheard a harmless word, then scolded the staff anyway. But everything got so much worse. Surrounded by families, Lily began live streaming from a restroom corridor, rating each women's bathroom on ambience and privacy.
Made it into Disney World. I don't really know what the deal is with bathrooms. You know, Florida is really conservative. I don't know what the rules are. Trans women are allowed to be in women's bathrooms, but I'm about to go and use the bathroom because I have to tinkle. If I get stopped, I guess. But I'm a woman, so I'm going to use the women's bathroom, and being in Florida or being in California or wherever isn't going to stop me. So I will report back in a minute once I have hopefully tinkled without issue. Went as well as it could have gone. No one gave me any weird looks. Definitely no one stopped me. I walked in, I found a stall. I peed standing up, which is something I'm sometimes a little self-conscious about with the sound. I think, oh, is there someone peeing standing up there? But you know what? I peed standing up and it was fine. And then I washed my hands and I left. And you know what? On my way out from the women's bathroom, I took a quick picture with someone who recognized me, and it was lovely. So overall, Disney World in Florida, 10 out of 10 women's bathroom experience for trans women would.
She snapped selfies inside stalls, other women's shoes clearly visible beneath doors, and joked that Florida lawmakers would have a stroke if they saw her. Within minutes, Twitter lit up. Parents called the stunt creepy, activists called it reckless, and even some allies said it violated basic decency. Or, though Lily's stun isn't consequence-free, a woman who recognized herself in Lily's Disney restroom selfies has reportedly filed a privacy complaint with Orange County authorities, citing Florida's voyeurism statute 810.145. If prosecutors pursue the case, Lily could face a third-degree felony, up to 5 years in prison, and a $5,000 fine.
All right, y'all, now we have one person that has officially come forward to press charges against Lily Tino. By now, we all know Lily Tino went to Disney and went into the women's restroom and took selfies with other women and children in the background without their consent, and then came on TikTok and posted and rated every single bathroom experience. I made a video talking about the fact that that was illegal in the state of Florida, much less, not to mention, it's also against Disney policy to take photos within the restrooms.
That was only the warm-up. At a sit-down restaurant in Epcot, a waiter accidentally addressed Lily as "Sir." Sensing viral potential, Lily pounced, demanding a public apology and even the removal of the bread tower. The outburst felt more like choreographed drama than genuine offense. And sure enough, the manufactured outrage sent the views soaring.
That is fancy looking. Cool.
The bottom is from Thailand.
Coconut bread from Thailand.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Yes,
Ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am. Sorry, And the middle one is from India. It's the papadom with the gingerbread chutney.
Okay.
And the third is from Brazil. It's a cheese bread with the guava sauce.
Thank you. It just like totally sucks the joy out of this bread tower. Makes me want to immediately like leave because I no longer feel like safe here. It's like, oh, my guard now has to be up. I'm not going to enjoy this bread as much because my guard is up. We should be able to go places and not have to worry. I don't think I really want this bread tower, actually. I think I'd rather have the check, if that's okay.
Yeah.
I think that's the training. We're supposed to say friend or just not use gendered language. It's like a pretty big thing that Disney has done. Nothing was wrong with bread. I just don't want it anymore. Just because they apologize doesn't mean she doesn't feel sad or offended. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, if you've accidentally ever hurt someone and say, I'm so sorry, it was an accident, do you expect them to be like, oh, it was an accident? Of course, no problem whatsoever. All of that hurt is now undone. That's not how it works.
Sorry about what happened.
It's okay. I would love to pay for the drink, please.
No, the drink is on me too, so
You don't. Are you sure?
you're good. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you
Sorry
very
about
much.
that.
I appreciate it. Thank
Crucially, trans creators blasted her too, pleading, "Please don't judge us by Lily." Parents who'd witnessed the spectacle posted statements describing frightened children and staff walking on eggshells. Disney's own employee subreddit blew up with cast members venting about influencers turning the parks into career-ending minefields. The fallout was swift. Lily lost brand deal inquiries, her daily follower gain flipped negative for the first time, and Bread Tower became shorthand for performative outrage. In that single week, she transformed from controversial to radioactive. Proof, many said, that her live streams weren't about awareness anymore. They were about manufactured martyrdom at the expense of ordinary workers just trying to do their jobs. The funniest thing about all this, though, is that she's now being recognized at restaurants, and some owners don't even want to serve her anymore because viewers are calling ahead to warn that she's just trying to score a free meal.
Could I do the... Oh, ignore it.
They say holding and you tell company for free.
No. It's not true.
Okay. So many people calling me already.
I'm so sorry.
They calling me because they say they can come here and can order like free food.
They're saying that I'm saying that you can come here and order free food.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that that happened.
Yeah. So can you tell with them like into my restaurant you just order for restaurant.
Oh, I trust me, I understand. I never said that there's any free food. Those are internet trolls.
Yeah.
But if you'd like, I'm happy to get the check now and leave so that I can be out of your hair.
I understand. But they just calling me saying, but why you keep saying like that, blah, blah, blah. I say, I don't know.
I'm not saying that.
Okay.
There is nothing I can do about them,
Okay.
but I am happy to pay my bill now if you'd like, if you want. If you
No,
want.
the food is almost done. I just want to let
Okay.
you know because so many people calling.
Yeah, no, it's not that they're really sad, miserable people that are transphobic, that try to make my life more difficult. I'm sorry that you had to be
Yeah,
a target of that because you're just here making food and I'm just here eating the wonderful food.
That's why.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you. Yeah.
Imagine sitting on the internet and calling up a family-owned restaurant and lying to them. If y'all are able, I would really love to leave this restaurant a significant tip. Our first $10 tip came through. Oh gosh, y'all are coming through. We are tipping $210. That's because of y'all. Thank you for helping make it up to this restaurant.
As Lily's content pivoted toward conflict, the internet's goodwill began to evaporate. On Reddit forums, users started circulating clips of Lily's outbursts. Others, both trans and cis, agreed that Lily's behavior was making the transgender community look bad by reinforcing the stereotype of the overly aggressive, perpetually offended trans activist. The sentiment was summed up by another Redditor. How fragile can you be? I'm non-binary. I would never do what she's doing. Mistakes happen, you correct it politely or ignore it, but this is too much. TikTok itself also turned on Lily. Her own videos' comment sections became war zones. Many viewers accused her of manufacturing outrage. Stitches and reaction videos multiplied, with other TikTokers openly mocking Lily's antics. One viral stitch showed a montage of waiters immediately apologizing to Lily after saying "sir" to highlight how none of them meant any harm, and then cut to Lily furiously lecturing them regardless. Even some transgender creators joined the pile-on, saying Lily's over-the-top reactions were unwarranted and harmful. Importantly, Lily's hypocrisy became a talking point. She often insisted that others use gender-neutral terms, like calling customers friend instead of sir, ma'am, to avoid misgendering. Yet in her own speech, Lily would casually refer to servers as guys or assume every barista was a he. The irony is how Tino preaches about neutral language while referring to his waiters as he. And in an infamous move, Lily made a TikTok claiming that late Nirvana singer Kurt Cobain was probably trans, essentially assigning a new gender identity to a dead person who never identified as such. As Lily rattled off her evidence Cobain wore dresses, he once said he felt more feminine. An early lyric draft mentioned wanting breasts. Viewers cringed. It came off as profoundly disrespectful and absurdly speculative. If Lily felt justified pronouncing Kurt Cobain as a transgender woman, critics argued, why should she object so strongly to someone calling her sir? That January 2024 Kurt Cobain video became the turning point. Overnight, the enthusiasm that once surrounded Lily collapsed into near-universal backlash. Even communities that supported her, including trans advocates, turned their backs. They called her out for projecting drama into every situation, saying her behavior reflected poorly on the whole movement. What began as solidarity quickly devolved into collective embarrassment. People accused Lily of playing the victim over minor slights, baiting attention by reacting as though everything was about her identity. When she received a polite request not to stream inside a restaurant, she saw bigotry. When a delivery went wrong, something out of the restaurant's control, she blasted the staff online instead of letting it go. These moments shifted public perception from advocate to entitled. It wasn't just outsiders who were losing patience, it was her own tribe. Her fans pointed out the hypocrisy, demanding respect, yet disrespecting others. They grew tired of the constant outrage and the sense that any small inconvenience was part of a grand oppression. Critics argued she was weaponizing her trans identity, not to advance rights, but to deflect any accountability. And so, the narrative flipped. The same audience that cheered her on began to see a pattern of behavior that didn't feel authentic or righteous. It felt performative. In their eyes, Lily's dissent wasn't the result of opposition, it was self-inflicted. By turning every minor hurt into a crusade, she alienated people who once saw her as a leader.
Hi. I'm a food critic and I travel around San Francisco with my phone and stream my meals. Typically, for any meal, between like 75 and 100,000 people will witness the meal, either live or after the fact. Would this be a good time for me to record my experience here? Yeah, I'm just gonna leave. There's no one. Okay. I think they're like all watching me as I walk out. All right, well, goodbye. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to. They're all just kind of looking at me from the kitchen, like, okay. I'll leave. Yeah, it definitely is intimidating for it to be that many people, but there's several reasons I mention it. Is one, because I want them to know that it's not just like I'm a random person videoing my food. Because it also lets them know, like, hey, enough people are going to be seeing this that you want to be sure to like be on your game, and also it could result in a free meal. So
one recurring issue is Lily Tino's shocking treatment of restaurant staff during her frequent live streams. Tino often broadcasts herself dining out, with her viewers paying for her meals via TikTok live donations, only for her to relentlessly complain about trivial issues and demand special treatment.
Push them back a little bit. Am I still going to use the women's bathroom even if it's against like rules, yeah, I think I will, as a statement. You know, if I like, for example, if I was in Florida, I was in Florida last week, and it was not allowed for me to be in a women's bathroom, I would still use a women's bathroom, because that is something that I feel strongly about. If they want to make a stink about it, they can, and I'm happy to make a stink about it too. That's how we fight back, y'all. That's how we fight back. So acts of solidarity with our trans brothers and sisters and siblings.
In one instance, she badgered a waiter with endless questions about a salad dressing, even requesting a sample of it, seemingly just to create conflict. Night after night, she finds something wrong with her meal or service and demands to see managers, often trying to get employees reprimanded or even fired for minor mistakes. Observers have noted a pattern. She'll complain about a hair in her food while her own dog sits nearby, shedding fur, then use the situation to score freebies or refunds. All the while, viewers are sending her hundreds of dollars in donations.
Right? Like, I wake up, I do everything I do during the week revolves around this because I love doing it. There are other things that I could do that might even be a way to, like, you know, accumulate more wealth, but I love doing it so much. But just be able to do this streaming and not have to worry about finances for, you know, the rest of my life, I would, because I love doing it. You know, I'm fulfilled here. I'm fulfilled. This is what I like to do. I love hanging out here. That's it. So, obviously that's not possible, you know, this hypothetical situation. Money's always something that I think about. But y'all make it so much less of a worry because of your incredible and awesome care and particular. So, thank you. You can't ask for much more in life than to be content.
Essentially rewarding her for manufacturing outrage. Critics argue that Tino deliberately provokes staff to elicit a misstep, for example, an employee misgendering her, only to then play the victim and blast the incident online. In one absurd case, she got stuck in an elevator and pressed the emergency call button. When the unseen operator addressed her as Sir over the intercom, Tino flew into a rage, despite the fact that the person couldn't even see her.
I am trapped in an elevator right now. I am not gonna lie, it's a little bit my fault because there's people who were in the elevator that came out while I was waiting for it and said, oh, hey, we're not sure this elevator is working, but like the elevator looked like it was working when they walked out. So I was like, what's the worst that could happen? And I pressed the button and the door closed, and then the buttons didn't work. And now we're stuck here. I pressed the call button and it went to my apartment person. Of course, they called me sir as soon as I said hello. Hello, sir. Number one, I'm not sir. Number two, I'm trapped in an elevator. In that order. I'd rather be stuck in an elevator and called ma'am than out of an elevator and called sir. And that's the truth. Oh, there's a little bounce. Oh, I didn't like that. Oh, I didn't like that. Oh, it's working. I think it's working. We did it.
This constant combative stance toward anyone who doesn't cater to her expectations has been widely condemned. It's not just cisgender audiences who are appalled. Many feel Tino's antics feed into the worst stereotypes of privilege and petulance. By brazenly harassing service workers and boasting about it, she's painted herself as an influencer who thinks those below her should lose their only source of income for offending her. The serious real-world impact is clear. She's attempting to punish low-wage employees to satisfy her ego, and viewers find it disgraceful. She's quick to take offense at other people's behavior, yet she's been guilty of some pretty despicable actions herself. In a now infamous livestream clip, Tino appeared to call her pet dog, Nugget, a racial slur, the N-word.
Nugget? Nugget.
Now, this content creator's name is Lily Tino, and the other night she was live on stream when she was going to tell her viewers something about her dog Nugget, but instead of saying her dog's name Nugget, she ended up saying another word that starts with an N, and like I said, she definitely should not be saying this word. Now, it seems like she said the word that starts with the letter N on accident, but I really don't understand how you accidentally say that word instead of nugget.
She later tried to claim it was an accident, insinuating she merged the words shiver and nugget together. But virtually no one bought that excuse. Viewers pointed out that you don't get that word by accident. Given Tino's track record, people believed this slip was no slip at all. It was an ugly reveal of language she had on the tip of her tongue. The incident only reinforced perceptions of her as overtly racist, and it attracted intense backlash. Now, just a few months ago, Lily Tino just unveiled a brand new face, crediting a mid-five-figure facial feminization package. Brow bone, an orbital shave, rhinoplasty, lip lift, jaw taper, and a likely tracheal shave, all revealed in a slick TikTok montage that racked up 500,000 views in 24 hours.
It has been 20 days since my FFS. About 70% of the swelling is gone, but it'll take another year or two for the rest of it to go down. So let me show you around my new face. For reference, here's what I looked like before. First up is the hairline. You can see that it has been moved forward. The line is pretty pronounced right now, but it will fade over time. You might also be wondering about this little dent right here. That is internal stitching, and it will go away in a few weeks. Now, my nose is quite swollen, and that will go down over time, but take a look. You can see it's way more of a ski slope now. Also, my brow bone is way less pronounced. My surgeon said that the brow would probably be the thing that made the most difference in the beginning to feminize my face, and I tend to agree with them. Now, my lips haven't changed, but they went through my lower mouth to get to my jaw. It's hard to see the result here right now because there is a lot of swelling, but over time you'll see that it is much softer. And last but not least, the Adam's apple is gone. I want to give a huge shout out to my mom who took care of me as I recovered. My mom actually extended her trip several times to take care of me because I got COVID in the hospital. That made recovery a whole lot harder, but luckily I had a wonderful support network of friends as well that helped me walk my dog and brought food and did all these wonderful things. And I'm super excited for y'all to come on my healing journey as my face settles in over the next few years.
Supporters flooded the comments with hearts, but skepticism hit just as fast. Two reaction channels slowed her before and after frames and argued the changes were mostly filter work, calling the surgery story another sympathy grift. On Reddit, users traced a spike in livestream donations during the weeks she staged restaurant confrontations, claiming viewers basically bankrolled her makeover, while still asking for healing snack money, prompting TikTok to demonetize at least one post, an action Lily publicized on LinkedIn as proof she was being targeted for being trans. By mid-2025, Lily Tino's public image is, to put it bluntly, in tatters. Once the beneficiary of sympathetic media profiles and celebrity shoutouts, she's now more famous as a cautionary tale. Her TikTok account still boasts around 405,000 followers, a considerable number, but one wonders how many are hate following to catch the next train wreck. Across Reddit, TikTok, and YouTube, Lily has become a running joke and a source of outrage. There are dedicated snark pages cataloging her misdeeds. In comment sections, you'll find upvoted remarks like, yes, she's a Karen, yes, she treats waitstaff terribly. Even many in the transgender community refer to her with disappointment or outright anger, fearing she's giving them a bad rep. It's a remarkable reversal of fortune. In barely 2 years, Lily went from an unknown person finding herself to a celebrated trans influencer to arguably one of the most disliked personalities on TikTok. And the public's morbid fascination with her downfall is, as the title of this video suggests, satisfying to a great many, because in the eyes of her critics, Lily Tino brought this on herself. They see a person who weaponized her identity to bully others, who cried victim while victimizing innocent bystanders, like waitstaff just trying to do their jobs. Watching someone like that face consequences, losing respect, becoming a laughingstock, scratches an almost primal itch for poetic justice. Yet, there's a tragic element here too. Somber Lily's story could have been one of empowerment and bridging understanding. She had a real opportunity to educate and spread empathy. Remember how she started wanting to share meals so people see a trans person eating and feel common humanity. But as her platform grew, ego and anger seemed to have taken over. The lure of viral drama overshadowed the initial message of tolerance. In the end, Lily Tino's downfall underscores a truth about internet fame. Virality is a double-edged sword. The same TikTok algorithm that elevated her when she garnered sympathy cut her down when she courted infamy. For many viewers, the downfall of Lily Tino is indeed satisfying, a comeuppance for objectionable behavior. For Lily, and perhaps those close to her, it's likely a lonely place to be, renowned for all the wrong reasons. As of now, Lily continues to post content, seemingly undeterred, but the public's trust and admiration are long gone. The saga of Lily Tino serves as a warning. On social media, authenticity can win you followers. But if attention becomes addiction, today's hero can become tomorrow's villain in the blink of an eye. And when that happens, the same audience that built you up will revel in tearing you down, one bread tower at a time.
Would probably beg to argue that there's another TikToker out there who people actually hate even more. We've done a deep dive on them, and if you've never heard of this story, it's generally an insane one, where this TikToker faked having Tourette's until her family themselves actually called her out for it. If you're interested in that, click here or link in the description.